Good evening, good morning, hello everyone. Today astrology podcast will be quick. It will be about Uranus, planet of shock, planet of revolutionary movements, stations direct. So till now it was retrograde. And February 3rd, which is within 2 days, it's going to be stations direct at 3 degrees sidereal Taurus. I will be making big informative video about Uranus transiting into Nakshatra Rohini and why it is dangerous for us, for people. Now, this time Uranus stations direct in the star Alcyone. So right now I will go over a little bit about Uranus, about Nakshatra that it stations, ruler of the whole situation, rulers. And then I will go over multiple charts. As of right now, in my Mundane list, I have over 40 charts of different countries. And I start to feel like my head is exploding because I cannot remember, obviously, each and every one of them. But there are certain charts that I'm working constantly and they are just popping up in my head. So today will be around like 15 charts of different countries and leaders. So a little bit about myself. I'm a Vedic astrologer. This is my channel Astrobabushka. Babushka because I feel old in this knowledge, if it makes sense. I use ancient Vedic techniques, ancient Vedic knowledge that is more than 3,000 years old. And I love also mixing it up with outer planets, with astrocartography, with fixed stars, because it is working. And especially recently I started also using asteroids here and there. There's one that specifically caught my attention. It's Zeus, and then because of that asteroid, I actually was able to choose between different charts of Iran. And that one that I'm working now shows all events with a high accuracy. Now, there's another asteroid that I'm watching closely now. I'm learning, I'm studying it. It's Apophis. And this is the asteroid that is actually on scientific website and how to say, astronomy websites and information channels. It's anticipated to be passing between Earth and Moon around April 2029. And it's coinciding with my calculation based on, again, Vedic astrology technique called Ashtaka in April 2029 will be extremely low degrees planetary-wise for all humanity. So I don't know if it's a coincidence or not. So this is also asteroid to watch in the charts, and also asteroid Hades, the ruler of the underworld. And somehow, Northern War, World War II, they were like, if you get any major wars, a lot of charts during this tragical events had these asteroids active. So, what happens when planet stations retrograde or direct? So that's mean from the perspective, from our Earth's perspective. In reality, actually, they're not moving back and forward. They are moving all the time directly. But from our perspectives, there's illusion. And so, therefore, the motion from our point of view is not, it's pauses, but in reality, it is not. And so it can be an illusion that actually manifests into reality. That, the pressure that has been building underground suddenly changes direction. What was unstable but tolerated can no longer hold. What was delayed is released without ceremony. So in mundane work, Uranus is at a station. It does not describe moods. It describes events. So it can be sudden reversals of policy. It can be breaks in alliances. It can be shocks that expose where systems were already, thin, or were already about to crack. So in Taurus, Uranus works through material reality, through land, through borders, through resources, through food chains, money, security guarantees. So when Taurus is stuck, the shock is not theoretical. It can be measurable for us, for people, and tangible. It's very materialistic. And it can be a sort of a moment that changes everything forever. This is how people can remember this period. Together with a solar eclipse on 17th February that follows it within 2 weeks and a few days. And Saturn-Neptune conjunction. There's multiple things are happening in the sky, and just now Mars and Pluto was conjuncting and starting a new 2-year cycle. And just a reminder, it was happening in sidereal Capricorn. So if you have any planets in sidereal Aries, 8 to 10 degrees, sidereal Cancer, 8 to 10 degrees, sidereal Libra, 8 to 10 degrees, you better watch out. You better not cry. That's how my kids are joking now when something heavy is coming. But Mars and Pluto are activating natal points. So in my personal chart, for example, it is in opposition to my Mercury, which is ruling my relationship area in life and career. So relationship I'm gonna leave for my private life, but regarding career, it is definitely influencing. Pluto definitely was and is influencing my rhetorics. It is influencing my attention. Pluto is a planet of war, planet together with a planet transformation, death, and together with Mars, planet of war, military aggression. It becomes very like I more and more getting mundanely oriented in my attention. Now, so that I mentioned. Also, of course, Uranus is part of the building new world order, or as someone sent me the link to astrologer it's Western astrologer, but it's so funny how he framed it. He said it's not new world order, it's new world disorder, which is hilarious. Now, Uranus is stations in Krittika. Krittika Nakshatra symbol is knife, so it's cutting. It's blade that cuts away all the excess. It's not gentle, and it's ruled by Sun, which is ruler of the year. If you're watching my channel closely, you know that everything that is connected to Sun this year have a high significance. So historically, Krittika correlates with moments when leadership decides to clean up a situation, even if the cleanup involves not popular methods such as destruction, sacrifice, or public backlash. It doesn't care about public backlash. So when a disruptive and revolutionary planet like Uranus, planet that you cannot expect anything from this planet, expect unexpected. And so when Uranus stations in Krittika, it sharpens everything, right? The knife, the symbolism, it all becomes surgical, urgent. Now, we also have fixed star Alcyone, and Alcyone, it's a central star of the constellation Pleiades. And, if Krittika cuts, Alcyone mourns. Mourns because the symbol of if I pronounce it correctly, Alcyone, or Alcyone. So the symbol of the star, or cluster of the stars, are weeping sisters. So across different cultures, Pleiades are associated with grief, with tears, with exile, and collective sorrow. Now, wars, famines, migrations, civilizational turning points are often appearing under strong Pleiades activation. So, two connected together. Oh, and I forgot to mention that Uranus is... why I didn't put this? Sorry, I need to show you then. So, 0303. Sorry. So here we are. So Uranus is also under the gaze of Saturn and within 4 degrees. So it's a very much strong aspect. So the grief will not be sentimental. It will be remembered, it will be heavy, it will be sober. Because Saturn ensures that what happens is not... it's impossible most of the time to undone. And it's very hard to forget. So Uranus shock. And Uranus, we have line now in crossing over Iran, transit line, and west side of USA. Right now it's around Arizona, if I remember correctly. So Uranus shock specifically to these areas and on the Earth. But as my experience shows, it's not only astrocartography, it's also critically important degree. So now we're gonna watch within a couple minutes all the charts. So Uranus shock, Krittika cutting, and Alcyone bring this mourning, seeing the aftermath. Now, let's go to the first chart, and it will be Mr. President. And by the way, crucially important to understand one thing. When we speak about anything in Taurus, that's mean it's squaring Leo and Aquarius and opposing Scorpio. So whoever has strong Leo positions or Aquarius positions in the beginning of the sidereal sign, they will be affected So this is something to keep in mind if you have those placements. Now, just in short, before we go into the Mr. President's chart, Eastern Europe cluster appears. There's a few countries. Specifically, I think because they all started their existence after USSR disappearance, and it was more or less the same time. So they all carry, in some sense, same karmic weight. And so Uranus right now is going to shake those Eastern European countries. But most importantly, let's start with Mr. President. So I'm going to use this thing. Okay. So it's happening here, 3-degree sidereal. So we have exact activation of his natal Mars. About his natal Mars, you can listen in my recent podcast. It's something very strong and apologetic in his chart. It's like a joker. So here we can expect sudden execution of authority, no negotiable action, public escalation, not a retreat. The opposition of retreat, escalation. Because square create tension and it force a person to act. It creates tension internally, externally, doesn't matter, just to make person act. Thinking about Uranus line going over Iran, and turning back, sort of, it was a retrograde motion and now it's going to go back. And I have more about this in my video about the first video that I made about Iran. I said that Iran is heading towards entering a long cycle of difficult period. Long difficult period, and it was one of the bases for my prediction. Next, we have Mr. Vice President's chart, and they both. I spoke about this synastry. No, sorry, I had it in my book about presidential election 2024 and their synastry, but they both Leo. And Mr. President's Mars sitting on the ascendant of Mr. Vice President. So they understand each other. They speak the same language. So speaking about Mr. Vice President, we can see abrupt visibility shift and forced role crystallization. I also saw another point when it's happening, and it's more closer in August. I think I replied to someone in a comment. I need to find. I already forgot what was that. So next, to not make video too long, I have inauguration chart of Russian president, the latest one from 2018, and here, surprise, surprise, we have also Leo ascendant and also within 2-3 degrees. And so the same situation, very similar to what we have with Mr. Vice President, with because it's also ascendant. So we have some can expect external shock, and through that external shock can be test of legitimacy or sudden external event for all of them so far that make them act. Next we have, wait, where's NATO? Anyway, I don't have chart here. I'm not going to open, but NATO has natal Saturn in Leo as well, but it's in the 12th house. And here we can see, again, on top of everything else that I talked about in my previous videos about NATO, we have another sign of structural stress on commitments with secret figures, with the foreign figures, hidden commitments overall, and exhaustion of old containment models. Next I have open here, it's Israel, and Israel getting activated here. So we have natal sun within 3 degrees. And Mars squaring Uranus, explosive. So I opened the wrong one. I have 2 charts of Israel. So one chart of Israel that I have in my notes, based on what I see there, that I'm working most of the time, there are resources and alliances mobilized under pressure. In this chart, which has different lagna, it is more explosive actually. So let's see how it's gonna play out. The worst case scenario or least worst case scenario. Now Palestine, that's very far in degree, it's like within 4 degrees. But Palestine entering Jupiter period in April 2026, within a few months. And Jupiter we have here in the sign of big enemy in the 10th house. And Uranus activating this spot, and it's also squaring within 2 degrees to ascendant, also Leo ascendant. So we have Leo so far. Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, inauguration chart of President of Russia, Palestine. What else? Something else was? No, that's it for now. That's it. I told you Leo sign is on fire this year. But because it's very similar, again, situation with Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, and Mr. President of Russia, it's external shock and sudden visibility on international arena, and that can be also narrative shift on the world stage. Next we have Taiwan. In Taiwan, I only have an inauguration chart. I couldn't find, I did so much research. If anyone has a time of foundation of the Taiwan, I would be greatly appreciated. So we have a stellium of planets here in Taurus, and they're very close in degree to Uranus. So highlighted Taiwan definitely highlighted. And it's also, you know, you will see when I will make an analysis for the eclipse, coming eclipse on mundane level. Taiwan keeps appearing in the degree activation. So collective security here overall questioned. Japan. Japan was under my pencil sort of regarding seismic heightened activity. So here it's opposing Uranus, opposing natal Mars, and Mars is planet of land, of houses, of buildings. So it can be sudden shock related to that, again supporting that idea. But also it can be like activation, because it's also ruler of the 6th house, so it's activation of the defensive position in the world, like more Mars-like, more aggressive-like, more military-like. Next will be Pakistan. I didn't open. Okay, so in Pakistan, we have Antardasha Rahu starting February, and natal Rahu being activated by Uranus in the 2nd house. So there's a big red flags concerning financial and value systems. And now we go to the Eastern European bloc. Ukraine. We have in Leo cluster of planets, so basically all of them gets affected. And this is major. We have all the unfortunate sequence of transits that I call they all hitting Ukraine. Considering this exactly, Uranus, so this is ideology, low morality, foreign alignment, they all under shock. There can be unexpected external events regarding those topics. And, you know, Sun is pretty far in degree. It's within 3-4 degrees. So the head of the country will be less affected than what Venus represents, what Mercury represents, and what Jupiter represents. Now next will be Latvia, latest chart. And here, again, stellium of planets in Leo. Major something, and 11th house is networks, and in mundane astrology it can be alliances. So something on this level, I cannot say even might be disrupted, it will be disrupted. Estonia. Estonia has exact 3-degree sun. Sun is the head of the country. So Uranus squaring exactly Sun and stellium of all the planets. So 4th house represents internal security, foundations, you know, emotional security of the country. They all get stressed, foundation stressed, and the leader of the country obviously stressed. Again, something external event that lead to that experience. Poland has only 2 degree away. Yeah, Cato. Okay. So nodal axis activating, and again, Ketu Mahadash starting October 20 2026, within a few months. So this is something that can unfold slowly, gradually, and start to be fully blown by fall 2026. Again, 11th house, alliances, shock in that area, and networks, alliances. Belarus. Again, we have stellium of planets in Leo and ascendant within 2 degrees of Uranus. So here, because it's axis of 1-7, so it's about treaties, it's about partners, it's about, again, open enemies as well. It's about like international contracts. They all destabilized. And last but not least, Cuba. In Cuba, only within 1 degree, we also have Sun, square to the Sun, and very close to Lagna. So it's heat directly on the head of the country, on the body of the country, and external pressure spike overall. So, again, to summarize, we have Uranus stationing, shock. We have Saturn controlling everything, watching before, getting together with Neptune, which dismantling old boundaries, old structures, old institutions in order to make new ones later on. Then we have Sun ruling Krittika, Nakshatra, and it's all within the frame of the year, within the frame of the most important events that are happening now in 2026. And Mars, at maximum exaltation, is happening nearby Sun. So decisions are executed and the consequences are mourned later by weeping sisters. That's what I see with the current Uranus stationing. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next videos. Bye.